You're getting celebrities asking you questions now, Carl. That's David Bowie. Is there life on Mars? Do you reckon?
I reckon there's more going on than just us messing about. I reckon.
I hope so.
I think.
Tell Steve your problem that you aired to me.
Well, do you know how, like, I'm always thinking about stuff when I'm washing up?
I'm just going to look at Steve for the reaction when this question comes out. Okay.
There's been a few things I've been thinking about. Do you know, like, how I tried to confuse a computer by putting in Y in the search engine?
Yeah.
So, along the lines of that, I was thinking in the week, if you put a chameleon on a mirror, what would happen?
Right.
and also, this is a bit of a bigger issue. We're always making more and more stuff, right, in the world. You know, big buildings, big planes, big boats and that. Will we ever get to a point where all this is too heavy for the world to handle?
Right, what error has he made there, Steve? What physical, scientific error has he made there with that question?
I can't begin to explain it.
Carl, we're not getting the rocks from other planets. It's already here. It's like having a big pile of books in a room and then moving them over to the other side of the room and building a thing going, oh, can the room take it? I'm building a lot of things out of these books.
What about plastic? Where does that come from?
Other chemicals that existed on the planet.
Yeah.
Do you see the point?
Hang on a minute, though. What about a little tree? You plant that's an acorn, it grows, Rick. That's bigger. That's more stuff.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him, Carl. He's patronising
What
you.
about acorns and that, though?
Right, they grow from minerals and proteins already in our atmosphere or in our the mass of Earth.
What about a cat, Carl? Right, you get it. It's a very tiny kitten, but it grows up and it's bigger.
Carl, he's doing it on purpose.
Elephants.
They're very small to begin with, but they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and so they get heavier and heavier.
Mind you, dinosaurs have gone.
You know, but you know, famously that's how Atlantis disappeared. You know, you've heard of the legend of Atlantis. Have you heard of the legend of Atlantis?
I think so.
This was a city that existed. It's proven, right? And what happened was they just kept buying stuff in mail order. They just kept ordering stuff, like the king and stuff. Just kept ordering stuff in mail order. He brought girls across,
carpets, lot of carpets.
He kept buying TV set, big screen TVs and stuff like that. And eventually,
he bought up all the myrrh that the wise men didn't want.
Yeah, because he's from, like, olden times, and he just kept buying stuff, crazy, like, he was just a shopaholic, basically.
Mental it was.
And he was ludicrous, it was like, and in the end, it just sunk.
Too heavy.
And it just sunk.
So, to the Earth, the more planes we build, the more trees we let grow, from acorns.
And more than that, what about all the people who are overeating?
There's only one
Rick
thing to
Wallace
do.
in this world.
I think we've got to kill off endangered species and burn trees. That's the only way the Earth can survive. You mental. Right, what are you doing?
Right.
Rockbusters?
Is it that time?
It is indeed. Last week, of course, it was a disaster.
Yeah, every Saturday at 16 minutes to 2, we do Rockbusters.
I have to say that I've not really gone through them, but the prizes look exactly the same as they were last week.
Yeah.
There's that T-shirt.
So it's a rollover, but you haven't added to it.
Have you not?
The point of a rollover is you've got to add to it. That's the excitement.
Yeah, there's a couple of albums that.
Okay, well, it's also the Fools and Horses video with the free.
I don't think I'm bloody jealous of that. I like that little yellow thing.
It's a little. There's a little kind of model three-wheeled van.
Rodney, you plonker.
Oh, dear.
What's that?
This is what looks to be some kind of best of the stereo MCs.
Don't call me a plonker, you wanker.
The David Attenborough DVD collection.
Oh, the hunk shit himself again.
Oh yeah, the big prize that we tried to give away now. Best
Cassandra!
Who is that supposed to be an impression of? Which member of the cast is that? Is that Cheeky Dell?
I don't know.
Best chill out album ever, the best air guitar volume 2, and of course for all our fans, Doctor Who, The Aztecs. That's on DVD, and that's one of the William Hartnell Doctor Who. Alright, that's the worst impression I've ever heard. That's brilliant.
Right, then.
Right, three cryptic stuff. Oh, come on.
Right.
Rodney,
Yeah, Bill.
Three. I can't do it.
No, come on.
Right, three cryptic clues.
Some of which may be wrong.
Yeah, and don't take the letters literally.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
Wars in Iraq,
But I don't
terrorism,
need
it doesn't
to
mention
now.
anything.
But that's all being wrote about anyway. If you're saying there's a museum that's keeping everything, there's loads of other books for that. Who's looking at the fella whose skulls fell off?
What?
We see. It's interesting, isn't it?
What do you mean the fellow whose skulls fell off?
Well, that's what happened the other week, so I wrote about it.
What?
A fella's skull has fell off.
What do you mean his skull has fell off?
It's something to do with circulation.
But what do you mean his skull fell
Well,
off?
it's in the diary. We
But
might
how
look
can
at
a
the diary.
skull fall off? Because it's surrounded by tissue and it's got a brain. How can just his skull? How can it detach itself from all the stuff surrounding
He
it?
mislaid all his dreams.
But all I'm saying is that's not getting a look in.
No, because it's not significant or probably true.
Good point, Steve.
I don't.
All
know
right. Well,
what's
let me
anything
just.
based on.
I'll just consult the diary quickly and find the moment with the man whose skull fell off. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Looks like the world's fattest man is having an operation to get rid of some of the fat.
Yeah.
He has to have an iron bed because that's the only thing that can hold his weight. There's also a man whose skull has fell out. He's in hospital somewhere. I hate that. It would make me panic. The hospital is busy with people coming in to look at their head.
What are you talking about there? That tells us nothing. Right, it's impossible for a skull to fall out.
It
How are
hasn't-
scholars in 10,000 years going to be... What are they going to decipher from that?
They can sort of go.
There's not enough incident detail.
But how did his skull fall out?
Circulation problems.
But answer the question. How did his skull fall out? Fall out of what?
He was at home, and I don't know if he was combing his hair or something, but it come off.
What did?
His skull.
What do you mean, his skull? Do you know what the skull is?
It's a part of the head.
Well, no, it's the structure of the head. It's the bone. Do you mean the top of the skull?
This is only useful if you have all the salient facts. Then it would be of interest to us. We could.
Well, I couldn't take that on. I'm busy. I'm not going to start looking into stuff in depth. Just get the details.
God. You're such an idiot. You are the best idiot in the world. Coldplay, Yellow on XFM 104.9. Get it on DVD. It's an embarrassment. £7 worth of old video, pan and scanned.
I bought it now. That's what they're getting. Right.
They've put a downer on it. All the work, that went into that, and then just going to fob them off with a bit of old celluloid like that.
Well, listen, still to come, right? We've got the monkeys thing.
Oh, chimpanzee that!
And when I was out last Sunday, right, at Johnny's birthday party,
Yeah.
Steve was there.
Yeah.
Got talking about stuff, and a debate that we didn't really finish cropped up.
It blew your mind, didn't it?
Amazing.
Oh, I know about this. Steve told me. This is the infinite amount of monkeys. Or a monkey with a typewriter and an infinite amount of time would eventually come up with the works of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
There was no debate. It's a philosophical, mathematical problem. There's no debate. It's true.
It wouldn't happen.
No, listen, Carl, listen. Infinity sorts it all out for you, right? An infinite amount of monkeys at a typewriter, right? They do everything. They type everything. Infinity just sorts it all out for you. There's no getting to it and they're going, oh well, let's have a look what they've done. This one's come close. Did Romeo and Juliet? It would do it all. It would type everything ever possible, conceivable.
Yeah, but
It's a mathematical thing.
Well,
Infinity
we've heard
sort-
your side of the argument, really. And I'll be honest with you, it's a persuasive one. But let's hear Carl, because he heard about this in a pub last week.
Yeah,
so
what's your
he's got some
problem?
strong
What's your
ideas
problem with
himself.
it? What's your problem with it?
well, first of all, right, you're saying it's a load of monkeys. It's not just one monkey. That
Depends.
can live forever.
No, wait. It's either a chimpanzee with a typewriter with an infinite amount of time. He would eventually, by definition, mathematically, type everything ever possible. Okay, or it's an infinite amount of chimps with typewriters, and one of them will type it first time.
But already, that's not right. You either need to have
What do
one
you mean?
monkey.
What? You mean
Let's hear his
employment
point.
laws?
He
What do you mean
can't-
it's not right?
Let's hear him out, please.
If it's one monkey
Yeah.
with a typewriter that's got loads of ink in it and that, right? At least it knows what it's done in the past.
It's not.
Keep going.
Cry.
If you've got a load of monkeys, it's like if you have too many. What's that saying about too many chefs?
Too many
spoil-
chimps spoil the soup.
Right, well, it's the same thing. It's like, well, I didn't tell you to put salt in it. I was going to put salt in it, and it messes it up. Whereas if it's just one, they know what's gone on. So what I'm saying is...
just leave him go.
I can't be bothered,
I want to hear. I want to hear the rest.
This blows my mind. He doesn't know what this does to me. It's a mathematical problem.
I want to hear the rest.
Well, it's just... I just don't think it will happen.
What do you mean you don't think it'll happen? Infinity works it out for you, by definition.
Well, what's stopping them typing the same thing again?
They would. In fact, the problem should be, if you had an infinite amount of time, that it would type... that works for Shakespeare an infinite amount of times, and everything else an infinite amount of times. But, you know, that's not as...
But not Shakespeare.
Oh! Shut up! You idiot!
Rick, do you know what he said to me? I said to him, I explained it to him, I said, you've got an infinite number of monkeys, infinite number of typewriters, they will type the complete works of Shakespeare. He said, have they read Shakespeare?
You're an idiot! Play a record,
said, no,
I'm not having this
they're not
conversation.
doing it from
I'm not having it, because it really, really winds me up.
But you're saying they'll do it with no spelling errors.
Well, they do it an infinite amount of times. And they do it wrong an infinite amount of times. And they spell the last full stop wrong an infinite amount of times. And they get one thing wrong in Hamlet wrong an infinite amount of times. They do everything an infinite amount of times.
But are they going off a story that they've...
Play a record, Carl, because I'm going to knock you out!
I'm just saying...
Shut up!
Do they know the story?
Oh,
They're monkeys!
Oh, Christ.
No,
right, okay.